Alright, y'all, check this out. So, Glenn Close is the most recent person to disagree with James Gunn's firing, and she had this to say, and I think was really, and I honestly agree with it. And she says in the interview, and I quote, "It's hard to think of anyone. It's hard to think of it without him. It's sad, and it brings up, I think, some very tricky issues around this movement. You know, and she's right. It does because, and she asked a very brilliant question, in my opinion. It was very brilliant, and she said, is that truly what we should be doing? Especially in this case, somebody alt-right blogger Michael Cernovich, who's known to ruin people for something that they wrote in a totally different context. What 10, 12 years ago? What are we going to do? Go back to our past and make sure that everything we said was politically correct? Who can live like that? I just feel that there's something wrong with that, and I can really agree with that because if we're going to do that, if we're using that logic, and then if we're, and I mean, I'm just saying, if we are really, really, really using this logic. You know, a lot of actors should be out of the damn business, if you ask me. But this is my initial thoughts on this whole James Gunn's firing. I think I mentioned it before. I don't agree with the context in which he said those tweets about over a little bit over a decade ago. I do not agree with them at all. However, I am an advocate for a person of of changing, and being a better person, and I feel like James Gunn is that better person. And I think Disney kind of just backed down to the trolls a little bit too quick, like a little bit too quick. I understand you guys are trying to keep, that aura of a family, family oriented vibe, along with the Disney that's always perpetual, that's always, been a part of Disney's MO. But there are some times where you guys gotta look and just think like, oh shit, wait a minute, are we should we really do this right now? I mean, like I'm not like I said. What's done is already done. I understand that, and they won't rehire him. But I really feel like they should have given this a little bit more thought, and then just so immediately just firing the man. You know, and I agree, and I understand why David Batista said what he said because I kind of agree with him. You mean to tell me you just back down the moment someone just says a little something, especially a guy like that guy? You mean to tell like you know what I mean? So she goes on to say, and I quote again. We are very flawed creatures. Look at what we're doing to our fucking world. It was a question I was talking about to someone last night. You have somebody that actually has the creative energy to create something like Guardians of the Galaxy. He's a flawed human being. He was a, cocky asshole back then. And was saying things to provoke people. Does that negate him as an artist? I don't think so. I personally do not think so. Or else we're taking down buildings and paintings, Take down all the pistachios. You treated women terribly. If it's going to be a lasting cultural revolution, which is a big change, if we gotta take into consideration human nature. End quote. And she's right. I mean, this is stuff like that ruins people's lives, man. And it's just like something out of a damn movie, man, out of a damn biopic, if you will. But like the article says, this is one of the most fascinating responses today, as it blends three different lines of argument. Close opens with an observation that Gunn's friends, including their franchise stars, have been making since the scandal began. That Gunn has changed over the years. She points out that these messages were written, and I quote again, in a totally different context. What, 10, 12 years ago? Back then, Gunn was a very different kind of person. A cocky asshole who was saying these things to provoke people, end quote. She doesn't believe those messages represent the man Gunn became during his years working for Disney. And she's right. And Batista's right, too. That's not the man that we see nowadays. I think what they should do is, whenever they're doing like these little background checks, check what people do in the past 5 years. If they're not convicted of anything within the last 5 years, then they should be cool. Straight up. That's what I think. And I also feel like if they find something that's really incriminating to that person's personality and then some, they should question him privately. They should discuss these things and keep the ball rolling, for real. But like Batista, Close argues that Disney caved in to a deliberate alt-right campaign to destroy Gunn. The director had become a profile figure on social media, well known for his anti-Trump views, and he earned the ear of Trump's supporters. They deliberately went back through Gunn's timeline, seeking out the most controversial messages he had ever issued on social media in order to ruin him. Close fears that this damages the movement to actually hold people accountable for their actions. But Close's third line of argument is a more unusual one. She points out that many artists have had a dark side to them, including even the likes of Picasso. Society doesn't diminish Picasso's skill, in spite of the fact and I quote again, he treated women terribly. Close implies that there needs to be a difference between the actions of the creator and allowing him to continue exercising his creative gifts. This is an argument that Gunn's defenders haven't really made before, but it's perhaps something of a double-edged sword. It could be used just as easily to oppose the firing of Roseanne Barr. Disney must surely hope the furor over Gunn will die down soon, but with celebrities continue to speak out, that doesn't seem likely. And frankly, I think it'll be like this for quite some time if you ask me. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Disney made the right decision in firing Gunn? Do you think he should be rehired or something, or do you think they would somehow have another meeting so then they can rehire him? Who knows? This has been your boy Chef Speaks. I hope you guys liked the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so that way you guys know when my video drops. And if you guys have any requests, please let me know in the comment section below on the back side of my YouTube page in my messages. This has been your boy Chef Speaks. These release dates, if you guys have not written them down yet. Captain Marvel comes out March 8th, 2019. Avengers 4 comes out May 3rd, 2019. Spider-Man Far From Home comes out July 5th, 2019. One love. Sorry, guys, I forgot a couple things to mention. But the first thing I want to say is, although I do agree with the Glenn Close, the only thing I will say is that I feel like she probably should have, unless she didn't form this opinion during that time, and it took her this time to form the opinion, and that's all fine and dandy with me. I completely understand that. But I do feel like she probably should have spoken out during the debacle when the superstars were penning letters to try to get James's job back, because he's a fantastic director and he made the Guardians of the Galaxy what it is. And so I feel like she probably should have said something during that time. But then again, like I mentioned just in the very beginning, that if it took her this time to actually form this opinion, then I completely understand, and I'm okay with that. But I do wish James Gunn was still here, but if it is what it is, then